Snow days in Maroa didn't start with an announcement. They started with silence. You woke up and something was wrong with the sound of the house. Too quiet. No cars passing. No doors slamming down the street. Even the furnace seemed to be working softer than usual, like it didn't want to disturb anything. You'd roll out of bed and go straight to the window. White. Not the thin kind that barely counted. The real kind. The kind that erased lines and softened corners and made the whole town look unfinished. Then you waited. Not for school. For the radio. The kitchen radio sat on the counter, already on because it never really got turned off in the winter. It hummed low while coffee poured and boots got pulled on halfway, just in case. The voice on the radio read school names slowly, like it mattered. Warrensburg, closed. Macon, closed. Argenta, Oriana, closed. Clinton, St. T. Yeah, you're open. Maroa, Forsyth. You held your breath. Closed. That was it. The house changed immediately. Not loud, just different. Backpacks stayed on hooks. Lunchboxes stayed open on the counter. Someone laughed from another room without knowing why yet. Pajamas were suddenly acceptable all day. Snow days didn't feel like time off. They felt like stolen time. Outside, the town was already awake. You could see tracks in the snow that hadn't been there an hour ago. Someone had tried to shovel and given up halfway. A pickup truck went by slow, chains rattling, like it was exploring new territory. Kids didn't go outside all at once. That would have been suspicious. They drifted. One by one, boots half-laced, hats mismatched, gloves that didn't belong to the same pair. Someone dragged a sled that had been sitting in a garage all year. Someone else carried a trash can lid because it slid faster. Someone showed up with nothing at all and borrowed whatever was around. The hill by the park filled without a plan. Nobody waited their turn. Nobody complained when somebody wiped out halfway down. You just climbed back up, breathing hard, snow packed into your cuffs, laughing without checking who was watching. Snow fights broke out and ended without rules. Forts got built and abandoned. Someone always went inside too early and came back out 10 minutes later with a different glove and a better coat. Parents watched from windows, not to supervise, just to confirm. Every once in a while, the door opened and someone yelled something important, like, "Don't soak your boots," or "Come in when your hands go numb." Nobody argued, because snow days had their own authority. Lunch happened whenever. Grilled cheese tasted better. Soup stayed on the stove longer than usual. You ate standing up, staring out the window, already planning how long you could disappear again before anyone noticed. The afternoon slowed down. Snow kept falling, or it didn't. It didn't matter. Time felt stretched, like the day had been given extra hours for no reason. By late afternoon, the town looked worked over. Paths carved through yards, snow piled into uneven walks, sled tracks crossing like highways. And then, slowly, people started to head home. Not because they were told to, because they were tired. Wet gloves hung over vents. Socks steamed on the radiators. The radio came back on, talking about totals and roads and tomorrow. Tomorrow mattered less. That night, The snow glowed under the streetlights. Everything looked clean and quiet again, like the day hadn't happened yet. You went to bed knowing one thing for sure. Even if school was back tomorrow, today had been yours. That was Maroa on a snow day. No schedule, no permission. Just a town that paused long enough to remember how to be still together.